Give us your meals that we can't refuse. Reese and I will digest for you. That's going to be a new segment where we just eat your meal recommendations. Guys, After we invest. Well, maybe before. So we have a lining of the stomach. It's called drinking responsibly, which we encourage on this podcast. Welcome back to the Luke Kidgell Hour. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. And that's all. Just wait.
Somewhere on the sea. Got a little longer, so it seems. I burned out.
Been watching some E-boys lately on the talk. That's what I do. I watch boys on the internet.
Yeah.
Before I go to bed. He's not a strong start. No. I watched this one. Everyone's seen it. It's my favorite. One of my favorite videos in the internet. There's like 25, 26-year-old dudes. I reckon they're like my age or maybe older. Yeah. Have you seen the one where someone's filmed it from a distance? A lot of people will have seen this one, and they all each take in turns coming up to the camera and like lip syncing with their shirts on.
Yeah.
Oh, off. Sorry, while they do it with their shirts on. They're boys on the internet. It actually disgusts me how much I don't have my rig out on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got verified on the talk during the week. Ooh, see that? Got that big
congratulations.
Tick. I've made it. Whatever. It's no big deal. Guys, before we get into it, we need to play the buzzer. This one is sent in by... Who was it sent in by?
Yeah, no.
Sent in by Yeah Nah.
He didn't have a name.
Okay. Parents are getting pretty lazy these days on birth certificates. This one's sent in by Yeah Nah to start the Luke Kidgell Hour.
Hey man, you was in my face. I'm in your face.
That's from the tuna sandwich fight scene in the first Fast and Furious film. Man, we need to get the quote. Next week, can someone send in the bit where it's like, no one comes here for the tuna? I want to get that one. I hope you've all had a good week. I've had a really good week. I'm back home. I know I was back home last week, but I've had a whole week now being back on the home turf. Feels good. Not going to lie. Caught up with the lads on the weekend. Reese, the big birthday boy, had a celebration.
Yep.
I will admit, my present hasn't come.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you why, Reese.
Okay.
Because I forgot to order it.
Okay.
And I just realized then that I was supposed to have it for today's podcast.
Okay, yeah.
I do have one in mind. I want you to know that I've put thought into it, but no effort.
Scares me. I don't know what to expect.
Okay. But yeah, happy birthday. How was the big B day? 25?
Yeah, 25. Getting old. Got the grey hairs going.
It shows.
Yeah. No, but it was good.
He came in with a new Kathmandu jacket. It was crazy how humble he was yesterday. So I saw Reese yesterday. He's a humble boy. I go, how was your birthday? Clearly like clocking the new Kathmandu. Like I knew it was new because otherwise I would have seen you in it before.
Yeah.
Because you wear like the same 4 jumpers over and over again.
I do.
Like me. I have that red one. I have my 3 Ghana ones. And actually that's it. So I was like, you go, yeah, good. No, it was fine. Just, dinner, stuff like that. And I'm like waiting for you to acknowledge the fact that you got some new drip.
Yeah.
You were dripping with drip.
I was.
And you didn't
like every other bloke in Melbourne.
Yeah, but he didn't even reference it once. And then I eventually, like in the middle of the day, I gave you 4 hours to acknowledge the new Kathmandu puffer. And then I go, is that new? And he goes, oh, yeah. I go, birthday? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, mate, that's the first thing you tell me. You walk in, you do a spin, you go, look at me, and you got to rep the drip.
I do, but just wanted to see how long it would take you.
It's cool, man. It was good. You looked warm when I picked you up from the station this morning. Yeah. Melbourne's really become cold, and I don't like that, and here's why. Because cold sucks, and I didn't get time to adjust to Melbourne winter this winter because I was busy on the Gold Coast. I didn't get time to adjust because I was in the sun enjoying my life. And I've made it my life goal, and I've said this before, but I've really decided, I'm actually thinking, man, I can't do it though. The only thing that's stopping me is because I have a life here and all my friends and family and career. But other than those things, those three little teeny things, friends, family, career, my entire life, God, I'd love to move to the Gold Coast. Oh, for 6 months a year. I don't want to live there. I'm not a savage, right? But for 6 months of the year, wouldn't it be great to just head there in like late May and then hang out there till late August and then come back in spring and then just enjoy your time here? Because then I wouldn't resent Melbourne. I spend most of September resenting Melbourne. October's usually pretty rainy in Melbourne anyway, so you can give that a miss. But I think it's pretty rainy up there. But anyway. I just haven't had time to adjust, so the chill has just hit me hard. I was giving Lewis shit like 2 weeks ago for wearing long johns on the podcast, and now I'm thinking of like getting a pair. I want like long johns for my torso, so maybe just a skivvy. I think that's what skivvies are. But yeah, I don't get cold waist down because I was one of those freaks in primary school that wore shorts every day. I think. Yeah, did you ever wear trackies to primary school?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, coward. Yeah.
Cold.
No. You're 12. What are you feeling? That's fine.
You're cold.
No, not at all. When you're 12, you just get out there and get amongst it. I was busy playing bat tennis, dude. I was fucking cool in primary school.
What about in high school?
Huh?
High school?
High school, I started to dabble in pants because I'm like, okay, maybe I'm a psycho. But I think I just became soft. I became a coward. I became the person that I resented when I was 9. Now I'm a big trackies man and I get cold. But my legs still don't really get that cold.
Yeah.
I don't know how dudes' legs get cold. We've all got hairy Chewbacca legs anyway. You don't have dainty shaved legs, so they really isn't that what hair's for? Body hair's for, to provide warmth? I don't know. I think it is. Like that's why cavemen had it. Although it's not really achieving its purpose. That's why we're evolving. Guys, whatever. This is evolution. What up? So shows 1 month until Perth. That's pretty big. And the borders open to Victoria on Friday. So get your tickets. It looks like the show is going ahead. We've almost like filled the bottom area, the bottom section of the theater. So if you want good seats, bloody get in there soon. Otherwise you'll be sitting up the top, which is still good, right? Because as soon as they go on sale, I'll be like, well, they're really good seats, guys. You should buy them. But just between you and me, they're not that good. So get your tickets, Regal Theatre. I'm also doing Bunbury the night before, and then the rest of the shows. I just did my Geelong show on the weekend. Hang on, before we talk about that. That was interesting, though. We've got Regional Queensland coming up. You know the dates, but just in case you're unaware, right? We've got Bendigo is currently sold out, depending if restrictions change. Same with both my Melbourne shows, although people get their tickets refunded a fair bit because they're rescheduled shows. So they are sold out currently, but if you check every day, you might be able to get 2 tickets or so if people cancel. Otherwise, Adelaide, get your ticks. And then it's Bunbury, Perth, Canberra, we're coming back. There's only 60 tickets left to the second show. Holy shit. Harvey Bay, never been there before. Don't know where that is. Can't wait to find out. I assume it's on a beach somewhere or a bay. I'm assuming there's water nearby. Great, that Harvey owns. Cairns, let's just be honest, Reese, because we're all about transparency on this podcast.
Yep.
It's selling like shit. Cairns is actually selling worse than Bundaberg.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And that's fucked. I mean, I didn't really set myself up for success doing 18 plus show on a Tuesday night in a tourist hotspot where there's currently no tourists. But guys, if you live near Cairns, get on down. I appreciate it. Townsville, we're doing 2 shows. Both of those are almost half full. Mackay, Rockhampton, Bundaberg, Toowoomba, 2 shows. Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, 2 shows in Brisbane, Launceston, and then Hobart. Get on down. Now, we did a high school on the weekend in Geelong. It was my 3rd Geelong show for the year. I really wasn't expecting to sell that well in Geelong, so we kept adding shows, which was mad. And I've done that room twice before, and it's owned by a high school. And the 3rd time we got there on the weekend, the school didn't tell us. No one put this in an email. We rocked up, and the whole stage /theatre is set up for a high school production of The Addams Family. Right, we get there and I just go, oh boy, there's like torture devices on stage. There's like a throne. There's like seats. There's fake spider webs everywhere, which we got rid of a few of them. But pretty much imagine the set of a high school production of The Addams Family. Now imagine where I perform my show on the weekend. Right in the middle of it. I went backstage, there was swords, there were crossbows, there's like little creepy crawly hands that like move when you turn them on. There's cigars. There's just like all these random props backstage. I entered stage holding a sword. It was probably the coolest I've ever felt. It kind of happened on accident because we were having so many sword fights backstage before the show, which was very dangerous because they were proper fencing swords. They were kind of blunted at the end.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I wanted to, I could kill Ruben. Like if I wanted to, I could have just been like, fuck you, and just ended him. But I chose not to, and that's what you got to do as a human with a conscience, you know? Some psychopaths would just be like, fucking whatever. But like, isn't that crazy? And the crossbow worked. Like,
really?
They were plastic darts, but like, you know, it could take someone's eye out. Like, we're all filming, Devlin loads it up and just goes bang, and then it like does that thing where it ricochets off the roof and everyone's like, fuck. That was a bit of fun. So yeah, because Ruben was performing, and as I was like, he's opening the show, and I'm like kind of waiting backstage to go on, and I'm, you know, just going over my set. I just kind of pace around usually, or just sit there and sit on my phone. I try not to sit there on my phone because phone just numbs your brain. So for at least the 10 minutes before I'm on stage, I try not to like stare at my phone or look at it. I usually put it in my bag and then just pace around, get in the zone. And because there's so many swords and shit, I'm pacing around like hitting things with, like I'm in a room by myself and I'm just like hitting things off the table. And like, so, and then I kind of forget all of a sudden that Ruben's about to finish. He has this last joke that he ends on every single show, and I know that. But in my head, I'm like, oh, I've still got like a few minutes. And then he's like, and then I'm like not really paying attention. Then I think someone calls me, and I go, oh, I've got to go on stage, I think. And then I realize he's like announcing me on. He's like, welcome to the stage, Luke Kidgell. And I have a sword in my hand, and I would have either had to quickly thrown the sword, and it would have just crashed through like a table full of shit. Oh, I guess I could have just leant it against the wall.
Yeah.
I panicked and I just walked onto stage holding the sword. And I think the crowd was, because I didn't do it in a cool way. I didn't go on stage and like shing, shing and like, wow. I just panicked. I think walked on stage just holding a sword and like made eye contact with the crowd. And they were just like, is this a bit? Like, is this part of the show? Like, does he have like, I've heard of the fog bit, but he's never talked about the sword bit. And then I just had to be like, oh, sorry, I'm holding a sword. And that was like the first thing I said to the crowd. And it's always like a bunch of people's first time at a comedy show. Like, because I get a lot of, you know, like younger people, like, you know, 18 years old or whatever. I had never seen comedy before I was 18. So I totally get it. That it's like a lot of people are seeing comedy for the first time. And it's just funny to me knowing that me entering the stage that's like an Addams Family high school production with a sword, in their brain now, they're like, that's comedy. Like, why the fuck doesn't Kevin Hart do this on his Netflix shows?
Yeah, I wonder if they were like confused when they first walked into the venue and saw all the stuff on the stage, and they probably might have thought like, oh, is this part of the set part of the show?
Dude, I was confused. For a second, I was like, was this on my radar? I was like, I didn't, not once. I'm pretty sure we said water. I don't think I said torture device on stage. So yeah, it was a bit of fun. Most podcasters would not clear their throat in the microphone. Fuck those people. So, yeah, that was good fun. Guys, thanks for coming out to the shows. I had a night out with the lads the night before. Finally caught up with my mates because I've been away for 2 months. It's just got to the point now where they're just like, I'm like the guy in the friendship group that they don't like go, oh, Luke never comes to stuff, whatever. They just know. They're just like, oh, you've like, you're back. You know, it's more of a thing now where if I'm there, it's a miracle because I'm usually not there because I mainly perform on weekends for 6 months of the year. So I pretty much go MIA to everyone in my personal life for about 6 months a year while I tour because I usually tour every weekend. But it was lots of fun catching up. We went out to a local bar. Reese and I were out first, having a couple of bevies for your B-Day. Word, I heard word on the street. A little birdie told me rumor before we left, and I don't know who I heard this of. I completely forget. I think it was a small bird. I heard that you were going to let the dogs out.
Yeah, and I was shutting down the rumors at the start.
Yeah, the start of the day, he's like, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't even own dogs. Like, and if I did, they're going to be firmly kept in their pen tonight, maybe 2 to 3 beers, and, you know, the Baja men will not write a song about me come tomorrow morning. What happened? Because then, towards later in the day, as it got nearer and nearer to like 5 p.m. and we were going to end, and we're like, oh, yeah, like we had the whole day, like we're going to go to the pub. Reese just gets parched as hell. He just got thirsty. And I started to be like, oh, you know, we're going to get dogs out. And then you start to be like, maybe. The door's ajar, haven't put a lock on it, that's for sure. And I was like, okay. And then you were going to get an Uber to catch up with your friends at like 7, you know. And we pretty much just had dinner and a couple of drinks before we both went our separate ways. And you were like, I need to get an Uber in 10 minutes. I was like, oh, Reese is done here. He's going to call an Uber and he's going to be out of here. He's like, I've got time for one more. And I was like, oh my God. I started making missing dog posters with a reward going, sorry, one of my employees has just let out the fucking dogs tonight. And then how did it end up?
Yeah, they did get let out.
Yeah. Okay.
Got home at about 1:32.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything of note happen?
No, not really. Just caught up with the boys. It's chill.
I had a crazy night.
Yeah. But,
which I'll tell people about, but nothing happened.
No, nothing too... Oh, there was something I agreed to, which I'll bring up later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you just bring it up now?
I can now. Okay, so remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about the coolest we've ever felt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have the feeling on Friday?
Because all the guys who I went out with there, I used to play futsal with them as well.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how the coolest I ever felt was when I scored that goal in the futsal grand final.
Yeah.
And then I was talking about how I sort of want to come back and play because I haven't played for a while. I have agreed to make the comeback at the end of the year.
Oh, no. What are you doing? You got out, man. You didn't have to play indoor soccer ever again.
Yeah,
you didn't have to...
The comeback's on.
Yeah. Is that really the coolest you've ever felt? Were the boys like...
No,
yes.
not on Friday night, but when it first came up on the podcast, when we were in Cooley, we were talking about the coolest...
Oh, so that discussion led to you thinking of a comeback?
I've been thinking about it for a while, but yeah, Friday night, I agreed to it.
And what nights of the week do you play futsal?
Oh, it's going to be a couple months away when the new season starts.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, I'm looking forward to... Actually, you know what? I'm not. Well, great. Well done.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Hello there. This episode is sponsored by Manscaped. That is right. Dude, get on it right now. Okay, if you're not cleaning your nuts with the Lawnmower 3.0, then I'm not sure what you're doing it with, but stop. Because I've experienced bad razors and clippers in the past, and once I went Manscaped, guys, I never went back. And your balls will thank you, says their slogan here. And it's true. My balls, dude, I did it the other night. My balls got on their knees and were like, "Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for making us so smooth and refreshing," because it comes with a ball toner, which I one time I did spritz on my nuts, and Reese, I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel alive. I don't know. Oh, they were very toned, dude. They were jacked. I think my balls had abs. So if you want your nuts to have abs, guys, in the contract it strictly says don't say things that aren't true. That's a fact. My balls had abs. All right. I'm not saying your balls will have abs, but I have a 6-pack on my nuts thanks to this ball toner. I'm not going to promise that that's a direct effect of owning the ball toner, but I'm saying it's a nice touch, and it could happen for you too. Guys, get the Lawnmower 3.0. It's seriously such a good shaver. It lasts for ages. You can use it in the shower. It's discreet. It's, when the shower's going, you can't hear that. But yeah, it's good and it's waterproof and it comes with like a little toilet bag and all the accessories for it. It's honestly really good, and you can use our code BASIC to get 20% off and free shipping. So please do that. Help support the podcast. Thanks to all the people who got it last month. Manscaped wanted to return, which was cool. So yeah, do that. And now, Reese.
Yep.
Back to the episode. I had a big night out. It's weird. We've got to the point now where I don't know if, look, a lot of younger people might listen to this podcast, but I'm not into nightclubs. I'm sorry. I can't relate to you there. I'm a pub man. I'm not a club man. I even talk about it on stage now, about how much I love pubs. Like that's just my life. And because all my mates still pretty much live locally, whenever we go out, we just go out like within 3 kilometers of my house, like of all our houses. We just go out to local pubs and sit there all night. And it's so much fun because you just like random shit happens. And I haven't been out in ages. And I was actually shocked in the space of 3 hours how much weird shit happened. Some of it probably just can't be discussed. I met, you know how Lewis has that bit about the fan in hospital?
Yep.
He has like a stand-up routine about from years back. I met the guy.
Oh, really?
I met the fan who sent him the message. Yeah, like weird shit like that always happens for some reason on a night out. I met like the another whole thing. It's not worth even talking about. But the best thing that happened, right? We wrapped up at the pub. This is funny as well. The bartender at like our local was like, "You boys come here a bit," and I don't, but like my mates do because I'm always away. They're like, "Oh, do you want to go to the secret area of the pub?" And I was like, yes, I've been coming to this place for ages. Did not know there was a secret area. Turns out there's not. It's just another bar at the back.
Okay.
It's just a back. I just had never bothered to walk that far back into the venue before. And they're like, "Do you want to go to the secret area?" She's like, "You know what? I'll see what I can do." And like she was doing this massive favor. And then we're like sitting there like, okay, we forgot about it.
Yeah.
Then 20 minutes later, she's like, "Guys, are you ready?" We're like, "Ready for what?" And she's like, "To see the secret area." Now, that's cool. When someone in your life offers to show you a secret area, immediately I'm thinking, let's go to Narnia, bitch. Let's do it. Like, secret area to me is like you open a bookshelf, like a bookcase opens to reveal a doorway. That's a secret area. And there is that bar in Melbourne that does that, but it's on Pinterest, so it doesn't count. It's not secret. People know about it. But I want like a trap door to open up in the toilet, and then we all just go and go down, and there's a secret area underground. I want maybe a bunker, like, I don't know, wouldn't that be cool? Like a apocalypse themed bunker bar. That'd be great. So I want secret. She just walks us out to the back. It's just more chairs at the back.
And more quiet.
Dude, there's people there.
Oh.
It's not secret. Like people, I'm like, there's 8 people here. So people know about it. I'm like, you told them the secret. I don't feel exclusive. It was barely a VIP area, I would say. But anyway, we're in the secret area. Then we left to go to Macca's, right, as most nights out end. And dude, hooly dooly. These blokes in suits walk in and, you know, they're probably 18, 19. I'm thinking, this is weird. Have they had like some kind of like Deb or formal event at their school? Not at all. Just a lads poker night where they decided to dress up a bit. And one of them just comes up to me, and I'll show you the receipt, Reese. He just goes, "Hey." I was like, "Hey." And we had a chat, and he goes, "I just ordered a cheeseburger." And this is a complete stranger, by the way. And I go, "Okay, great." And he's like, "No cheese, no burger." And I was like, "So you just ordered bread?" He goes, "Nuh-uh." And then he shows me his receipt, and he's added 1 soft serve to the cheeseburger. Right? So he's gone no cheese, no burger. So it's essentially what's left is sauce, pickles, and ice cream in a bun. I just go to him flat out, there's no fucking way they'll make that for you. But already I'm hooked. I'm in. I'm like, I got my order. I stayed. I was like, I need to know if he gets this, right? All my friendship group stays. We then the whole Macca's, like everyone's talking about it who's waiting up. Another friendship group comes in. They're like, are you guys lining up? We're like, no, we're waiting for this guy to get his order. And then we explain it to them. Then they all wait around. Everyone's like, okay, well, I need to see if they do this shit. Now all of a sudden, the 16-year-old or 18-year-old who's working there has like 30 people waiting in the Macca's to see if she's going to put ice cream on a burger. And Reese, Dude, the applause that she got when she walked over to that soft serve machine with a Macca's box, like with a burger box, just sadly open.
Yeah.
She looked at us all and just went, "Are you sure?" And then the guy was like, "Yep."
Absolute scenes.
And then just went and just like filled it up. I have a photo. Disgusting. The guy ate it in front of me. She just filled it with soft serve, right? Filthy scenes. I then started filming with the guy. Hang on. Oh, I don't. This is okay. This is actually a great soundbite of every time I go into a McDonald's. I'm trying to have fun with my friends, right? And this is what happens 100% of the time.
I wanted Gluck for that. This man got it.
It happened.
Dude.
I made shit happen.
That's fucked.
Kidgell, is that your name?
Yeah.
Are you a comedian?
Dude, we're trying to make comedy here, right?
It's one of my mates saying, "Let him do his job." All right, he's filming a man with a burger. Yeah, dude. Every time. Are you the? It's always drunk girls. I've seen you on my phone. Oh fuck. So yeah, it was a big night of investing, although no good deals to report. And I guess that brings the time. Sorry, the time? It's time for this.
Yes.
Oi, mate, is it happy hour yet?
It's 10 a.m, you cheapskate.
Cheap evs are hard to get, so help us choose. Give us your deals that we can't refuse. Reese and I will invest for you. Yeah, we will invest for you. That is right. We are investing all around the country this year on tour. People have been sending in their best happy hour deals. And by the way, a lot of love and excitement for this segment. A few of my mates getting around it, even on the gram. That's when you know you've got a good one. Because like I do a lot of content.
Yeah.
And they rarely engage with my professional work. Like they would be like, "Oh, good video. Oh yeah, I saw a couple of videos, whatever." This one, a lot of replies. My mate Jake, this is great. Someone had to collate this data. Congratulations. Putting your platform to good use. And a lot of just similar things of like, let us know, maybe we need to make like a database. I was like, I think there's
Excel sheet.
There's demand for like either an Excel sheet or even like a map with like pinpoints of where you can get great deals around the country. I'll be honest, I can't be bothered to make it. Don't think Reese can either. So let me know if there's like technology where everyone can add in their own. Like, is there a platform where everyone can add their own deals?
You can do like a
and we all have
that people like.
Oh yeah, like an editable spreadsheet that people can edit. Yeah, we'll see. But we need to I guess get this data together. So the best happy hour deals that we received. This one came in from Caleb from Tassie, and we are going to Tassie. He goes, just watched the new Luke Kidgell Hour. Not sure if it's super cheap, but $5 pints at the Republic Bar in Hobart between 5 and 7 on Fridays and Saturdays. Now, Reese, do you want to know something heartbreaking?
What?
That's where the show was supposed to be.
Oh, no.
But it got moved due to a scheduling / maybe I don't know, something to do with the venue. I forget why it got moved, but now it's not at that venue. But maybe before the venue. The problem is you just have to get to we have to get to, actually, we have the Saturday off in Hobart. Oh, that's dangerous.
Because I was going to say, we don't want to be doing investing before the show. That could end badly.
It's last show of the tour. So,
right, true.
Yeah,
True, yeah.
Yeah, it's Hobart. Fuck them. They're probably going to be fucking their cousins anyway while I'm performing. So, is it a big deal? Sorry, just text there. Pretty embarrassing ringtone there. Boing, boing. That's how I like my messages to come in, to just bounce into my inbox. This one's from JC. I think her name is Jacinta. Magnums in Airlie Beach. You ready for this one? This one blew my mind. This blew me away. Get ready to feel a gust as I tell you. You ready? Magnums in Airlie Beach, which I've been there before. It's not bad. Does $9 jugs. That's dangerous. Dude, there should be a
Holy shit.
caution sign on the outside of the bar. Going, caution, enter at own risk, $9 jugs provided.
Sign a waiver to get in.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm going to sign my life away. That's going to be great. We are going to Ellie Beach for a few days, so that's Jesus Christ. Well, we're going to have to go to a souvenir shop. Otherwise, we're not giving Ellie Beach enough money, like as tourists. We're not even supporting businesses after COVID. How do you turn a profit off that? And also, she goes, obviously, it's selected beers. I was like, sure, I didn't expect $9 everything. But, you know, even if it's like, what's the shitty beers? It's always like, I don't know, like Tiger or Kung Fu. You know, like just like weird beers you've never heard of. Usually startup beers. Now Kung Fu is more expensive, I think. But and they do $5 basics and $13 cocktails. But $13 cocktails not like that's good, but it's not crazy compared to $9 jugs. $9 jugs just whoa boy. She told me that news and I just started convulsing in excitement. You got a couple over the email?
Yes, so this one comes in from Wolski.
Yep.
Newport Bar does $2 middies on Wednesdays, happy hour and happy investing.
Where's Newport Bar?
The subject line's Perth.
Oh, great.
So it must be somewhere in Perth.
Okay. Wait, on what days? Or every day?
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. Oh,
$2 middies.
I don't know if I'm going to be there on a
Wednesdays, happy
Wednesday. Damn it. Oh my God. I've been very popular today. $2 middies? $2?
$2 middies.
During the day?
She just says Newport Bar does $2 middies on Wednesdays.
That's insane. I mean, I don't really want to drink mid-strength beer, but for $2, like just have two, you know, then you're fine. That's amazing.
We got one from Anna in Canberra.
Yep.
Canberra Labour Club, they have got basic spirits and any tap beer or wine for $5 at 5 p.m. and $6 at 6 p.m.
That's good. Yeah, I reckon that, you know what the thing is? The $9 jugs have stood out and the $2 middies. Those are the two best deals so far. We're doing a leaderboard of these.
Yeah.
$5, $6 scooters and stuff, that feels like the general consensus for a lot of places happy hour. Like no businesses are going lower than $6 for a drink. And by the way, just for UK people, you're going to have to look up whatever $5 Australian is to you because I think it's like a couple of quid because I think quid's more. Yeah. Like I think £3 is like $6. I don't know. I don't actually know. I need to put it in. But yeah, that's hectic. So great. Keep on sending in your deals. We do need to create like an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. Maybe can someone let us know how to do that? You know, I just can't be. I just cannot be bothered to look into it unless you want to look into it. I just know I'm worried at the fact I'll say I'm going to because this started. I've been down this road before on this podcast. Originally, we wanted to do a free source map of every location in the country that offers free source to people. Yeah. And I started doing a map, realized I had to log them in all myself. I probably logged in like 100 locations and then just couldn't be fucked. And it was on my website for about a year. I can't be bothered to do that anymore. Happy to put up a thing on my website.
Yeah, maybe on the podcast page, then we might be able to do that Excel thing.
Yeah, it'd just be good if it could integrate into my website and people could like edit it, but we'll see how we go. But either way, great start. I think I got a couple more, but none that stood out. $9 jugs is just like I'm thinking of. It's actually financially viable to fly there for a night out and just stay the night. And also Magnums, it sounds horny.
It does.
It sounds like a backpacker bar. I think I've been there before. I think I know the one she's talking about. It's definitely like the place to be there. So that's exciting times. It's going to be a big night out at Magnums. This is one I want to talk about. I recently changed phone providers, right? I was with Kogan, right? Now I'm with LD Mobile, right? It's I'm a big fan of just going with like fucking weird phone companies that are way cheaper because I use a lot of data, right? And Lewis was like, you need to go with LD or whatever because they're associated with Telstra. I forget why I did it, but I did it on the tour because I wasn't getting reception.
Did it in Wollongong.
Yeah, it was awful. But anyway, I switched. Dude, Kogan, and this happens with every mobile company, so desperate to get me back. I received this email during the week, and you thought $9 jugs was a good deal. It almost swayed me. This is how much I spent a week trying to transfer over my number and shit. It was a pain in the ass. Then Kogan sent me this email. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever been like, I've never have, but have you ever been like hit up by like a desperate ex before? And you're like, please, I'll change. You know, I promise I'm getting better as a person. This is what Kogan did to me in my emails. I was like, you don't do this to me, Kogan, all right? I've left. Let me leave with honor. Don't come crawling back and then also tempt me like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the equivalent is. Maybe like your ex like sending you nudes or something like that after you've broken up. You're just like, what the fuck are you doing, right? I'm just trying to make it more relatable to people, okay? Even though that's probably not that relatable. Luke, this is the subject of the emails. Hadn't even opened it yet, and I was like already rock hard. Luke, get 85% off a 90-day large plan when you bring your number back to Kogan Mobile. Half of me was like, what the fuck? You can't just do 85% off your product. It completely devalues what you were charging me initially. And also, the reason why I didn't go back is because I was like, Kogan, have some self-respect. Don't charge me 15% of what you actually want to charge me. That's embarrassing. Like, how desperate are you for clients where you're like, fuck it, 85% off. Imagine if you like did the thing at stores where you're like haggling or something and you're like, come on, 20% off. And they're like, no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. And then you go, all right. And you do the walkout.
Yeah.
You get to the door and they're like, fine, 85% off. You're like, I'd be like, I don't want it anymore. Is this shit? Why are you giving me that much money? So, yeah, guys, Kogan, desperate, right? Figure it out. And I don't want to come back. So I just want to...
There's got to be some catch to that, surely.
I mean, it's only 90 days
Yeah.
and then they go back to charging you. But, you know, I could go back for 90 days and then just, just ditch again. And then I'll get another one.
Yeah.
I bet you people do that. I bet you there's some soul that's worked out that if you just leave them once every 3 months, they go, please stay. And you just get really cheap mobile data. That's unbelievable. $14.90 for a 90-day plan. Of like 60 gig of data. Fucking embarrassing. So, yeah, I went out to watch one of my best mates' gigs during the week. Tyler, he's got like a little music project. Well, it's like a band. I don't know. It's kind of like a band. It's a band, but it's like he just played a solo gig as the band. Very confusing. It's called Blank Face. Anyway, I went to his gig. It was great. It was like kind of cool to watch because everyone's been coming to, all my friends come to like my comedy festival show and stuff every year. So I was like so happy that like for once I could just go and watch one of my friends do something like cool. And it was so cool. We're all there. And he was doing it this like gig, like at this room that I sometimes do stand up in. And it's like in Brunswick. So it's kind of like not a rough crowd, but you get like drunks on a Wednesday just rolling through Sydney Road. And he's like so brutal. Like it's his first gig. It was all going great. He played a couple songs and then some bloke just yells from the back like, "Oi mate, do you do any covers?" Oh. It's like the equivalent of like, I don't know, someone just being at my show like, do a good joke. Like clearly not enjoying his originals. Like everyone else is having fun. Dude, Tyler is like hilarious, my mate, right? He fucking rips this guy a new asshole. He crushed harder in that room than I ever have doing stand-up, right? He just like burns this guy. The crowd loses it. This guy's so embarrassed. And then just rips him to shreds. And then I forget, it ends really sad, this story. Then the guy got really drunk and tried to hit the bar, like the waitress, and then the cops came. But yeah, that was a bit of a bummer on the night. Yeah, he handled it really well. It was so cool just to like see one of your boys out there doing good. But one thing that happened, right, was there was a lot of people I knew there, just, a bunch of friends and stuff. And there was this guy who was in the crowd and I just looked at him for like half an hour and I was like, fuck, I can't figure out where I know him from. And because it was like in Brunswick and he wasn't hanging out with any of my high school friends, I was like, it's definitely like maybe he's not one of Tyler's friends. Maybe he's just here. Because there was a few random people just at the bar watching him because it was like a free gig or whatever. So I was like, maybe this guy's just like, maybe he's an open mic up. Maybe I've seen him at a comedy night before because he's in Brunswick. I do gigs here. I was like, maybe he just hangs out here. And I'm like looking at this guy for ages. And then I know if this has ever happened to you, Reese, and this might be the most least relatable thing I've ever said, but I looked at this guy and then went, oh, he's the guy from The Cushion. Have you ever recognized someone from A Cushion before? No, neither did I. Do you know how weird that is to look at someone in the face, like be trying to work out where the fuck you know them from for half an hour and then realize you've probably climaxed on his head. So it turns out some people did. He was there for Tyler, right? Meg has this cushion, right, that she got made for one of her high school productions, like in her year 12 high school production or whatever. And it's got like some of the cast members posing on the cushion.
Yeah.
Right? And I've like, this cushion just used to be in her room. It's not here anymore. I don't think we have it anymore. I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it for like a year and a half. But back before we moved into this house, there was this cushion that was kind of just on the floor in her bedrooms, right, whatever. And it just had like some of these people who she went to high school with, right? And I was like, okay, cool, great. And I maybe, and in my mind, I put this guy's face into my brain, right? And then forgot about it for 2 years. And then he was like in front of me and he like walked out of the toilet and I was walking in and I was like, fuck, I know that guy from somewhere. And then it just clicked and I was like, oh my God, dude. And then I didn't know whether to say to him. Because like you can't walk up to someone and be like, man, you're the guy from The Cushion. And he's gonna be like, what? He doesn't, I don't even know if he knows The Cushion exists. But I know him from a pillow, right? So I don't want to be like, you're the cushion guy, because he'll probably be like, oh, you're Meg's boyfriend. And I'll be like, yeah, you're cushion dude. So that's like a weird thing to say. So this whole night, and I just go to Meg. I was like, oi, Meg. And she's like, what? I'm like, you know that guy over there? She's like, yeah. And she said his name. And I was like, oh, you know him? She's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, he's the guy from The Cushion. And she's like, what? And I had to explain that. Then I'm explaining to everyone why, I felt rude because like, then if Tyler's trying to perform and I don't want to be the guy talking, right, while he's doing his shit. But then like there's people, like some other friends going, like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I know this guy from A Cushion. And then everyone's like, what do you mean? You know this guy from A Cushion? Dude, the amount of confusion that just went around the room of like, I think Luke knows him from A Cushion. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like he's seen him on a pillow before. And then one of my mates was like, does he do pillow modeling? Like, what do you mean? Like as in he's like just like in a Bed Bath and Beyond ad somewhere, or he's he does Harrison scarf catalogs, and everyone's like, what do you mean you know from A Cushion? I'm like, he's on A Cushion, and because I didn't want to couldn't really explain the whole story because I didn't want to be rude. I'm just telling everyone that I know this guy from A Cushion, and it was one of the most confusing 5 minutes of my life. I think it must have got back to the guy, and then the guy would have been like, hey man, Luke knows you from A Cushion? And the guy would have been like, what the fuck? So I bowed out and I didn't tell him. And it's one of the biggest regrets of my life, not telling Cushion guy that I know him from A Cushion. So if I ever see Cushion guy again, I might tell him, man, you're Cushion guy. I don't know why I thought that was good to tell on the podcast, but that amused the fuck out of me when it was happening. Is everyone just like the confusion and of everyone's face going like, you know him from A Cushion?
Well, word might get back to him now through this.
I know. Because like usually like, where do you know that guy? Like, oh, a mutual friend, or oh, he dated one of my friends, or you just like know people from around. Yep. No one has ever been like, from that inanimate? That's not a word. It is. Inanimate object. Is that the word? Why am I going blank? No, it's the word. Well, I doubted myself. I don't know why I say a word that exists and then doubt it exists. Inanimate objects. Yeah, that's the word. This podcast has never evolved. It's never changed. Like episode 1, I was like, I don't know if that's the right word. Now we're like episode 200 and something, and I'm like, inanimate. We did say last week on the podcast, Reese, before we wrap up, that we would review. I'm pretty excited about it.
Oh yeah.
We would review Ja Rule's ad. Do you know where it is? What do I look up? I think I just YouTube it, right? We're going to have to put in the video. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted by the Greek restaurant. Ja Rule ad. So if you don't know, Ja Rule is a rapper who is pop. Look, a lot of people think they know him from, like being a rapper and his music. He's definitely most popular for squeezing a titty. In Fast and Furious 1, there's a scene where that's it. He squeezes a titty. And that's how I know him. And Clearly, that's how this Greek restaurant knew him. You know, one of my favorite things. Oh, sorry, a bit of a YouTube ad there. Giving Ja Rule that cash.
Needs it.
Yeah, clearly, because he's doing this. My biggest fear in life is becoming like a washed up celebrity, because I watch these things and I howl laughing, right? But it's my biggest fear to end up on like a local Greek restaurant's ad being like, you don't own me. You know, like, it's like, come in and don't buy food. And then I'm like buying the food. Like, that's just like my biggest fear. Or like, I have to go in and be like, tell us a joke. Or like, just do any things that people know me for. It's like my biggest fear, right? And this is what Ja Rule's had to do. He's clearly got a lump sum of money from this random Greek restaurant. They've put him in front of a green screen. They've only put photos of meats and stuff behind him. And Ja Rule, I'm gonna say, I've watched this once before, right? I have watched this before, but I haven't watched it for a while. All I'm gonna say is, from memory, I don't think he's stuck to the script.
No, not
right?
at all.
I just didn't get the vibe from him that he's sticking to the script.
Papa Cristo's food is so good, it make you want to slap your mama.
So Ja Rule appears in from nowhere, like drops down because he's on a green screen. He's wearing a shirt that says "I love Greece," like the "I love New York" shirts. And he opens with, "Whatever restaurant is so good, it will make you want to slap your mama." It's like a weird, violent domestic abuse joke to start off the ad. So he's off to a flyer, right? And this is what I wanted to review.
Papa Cristo's got the best motherfucking gyros you ever ate in your life. So good. And when it thinks of,
He's definitely not supposed to be swearing. No. Like, there's no way they were like, okay, can you say, we've got the best motherfucking euros, your best mother shit. And like, what does he say? He swears like 3 times and they've just had to, because you know what? I get the vibe that they've recorded it, right? And then the business owner wasn't there. Someone else at the business has recorded it and Ja Rule's like, that's what you get. And then he just like walked out and squeezed another titty. I get that, like, and they've just gone, fuck, all right, we have to use this. Right? So instead of like just scrapping it, they've just beeped. Like, they could have just made it 30 seconds and not used the bits where he swore, but instead that's so good, dude. All right, I just don't want to listen to it from the start again.
Papa Cristo's food is so good, it make you want to slap your mama. Papa Cristo's got the best motherfucking gyros you ever ate in your life. So good, and when it thinks of, you got to have beers.
He goes, so fuck, for audio listeners, he does that, like, you know, like the evil, like, he goes, shit's so good, it want to make you, oh, this is so good. You linked me this the other day. How did you find this?
I knew it from like a year or 2 ago, and it just entered my memory the other night. I'm like,
oh my god! Reese sends me the niche shit, like, and now the next scene is him just throwing pita bread around the room.
Pitas! Papa Cristo pitas! They got everything. I'm gonna just give you a rundown of some of my favorites. They got
By the way, he's reading off a phone. So, like, he's like, I'm going to give you a rundown of some of my favorites. Whips out a phone and then struggles to pronounce the word tzatziki. Are you ready?
They got tzatziki. Hold on. Octopi tequila. Well, whatever. But it's good.
I don't even, look, to be fair, I don't know how to pronounce that word either. But if I was getting paid to do an ad, I'd be like, sorry, how do you say that?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you know what? I'm with Ja Rule here. What the fuck does that say? Octopod Akia. Are you Greek? I don't know. No, you're not Greek. I know you're not Greek. Well, I'm asking you to be Greek. I'm like, have you recently become Greek? This is my favorite, where he just gives up.
Hold on. Octopi tequila. Well, whatever. But it's good. Avolamano soup. Copper pizza. And they got wine too. I'm telling you, come on down to Papa Cristo.
I don't know, but it's good. Oh, that's so funny.
You can't even pronounce the food. It's so good. Show what you working with.
Pronounce the food. It's so goddamn good. Who the fuck is paying Ja Rule to do this? Like, I feel like the equivalent is like, I don't know, like if like a Mexican, I don't know, like just any restaurant, like a fish and chip restaurant or a Mexican restaurant, doesn't matter. Just got like what? Like, who's an Australian version of Ja Rule? I don't know. We have so many washed up celebrities, you actually can't remember them. Just like, I don't know, someone like, I don't know. Oh, I was about to say Jack Vidgen, but he was on one of those shows.
Show them what you working with, Papa. Show them how you do it.
Hey, Papa, hey, where are you? Papa Fish, are you here? Papa Fish, are you here?
Come on down to Papa Cristo.
Did they edit so I think what they were trying to do is they edit the owner saying whatever the fuck as a rapper, being like, oh, we switched roles and now I'm Ja Rule. Was that the joke? I don't.
2771 West Boulevard Pico. Or you can call right now and get it delivered. Papi Cristo's. Ooh, make you want to do the dance.
Did they get him to dance? I reckon that took him 3 minutes. I reckon he one taked it. Because at one point he goes, hold on. They didn't edit it out. Dude, that's one of the best ads I've ever seen. I feel like I need to do a YouTube video. Like, can people send in like horrific ads? I just want to do a YouTube video. Do you remember that ad, the Anthony Koutafidis Souvlaki Hut ad? Where he's like, there's a gorilla.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, dude, ads with celebrities in front of green screens just wow me. They're so good.
There are some ads as well that don't even have the celebrities, like the old school Rivers ads.
Yeah, they're just like, what are the old school ones?
No, just like the old Rivers ads where
there's like metal guitar.
Yeah, they're playing like metal music while like there's socks coming across the screen.
Men's socks. Collared shirts. Who thought in that marketing, like, we'll do men's outdoor hiking equipment with death metal in the background? And someone was like, you've bloody done it. Guys, that's the end of the episode. Actually, no, we should bust out the jar. We said we'd do it. We haven't busted out the jar in a while. We'll do one question from the emergency content jar. Yeah, great. What song would you have open your podcast if copyright didn't exist? Oh, well, my walkout song usually on stage is either Fat Bottom Girls by Queen, because it's the ultimate pump-up song if you cast your minds back to 2019, 2020 podcast content, and it's also just a banger. Or I walk out to Reese Mastin's version of Paradise City, which is originally performed and written by Guns N' Roses, but I prefer Reese Mastin's version because I have taste. I'm a man of culture. One of those two would be good. I don't know, like... It'd have to be just a bop. Yeah, probably Fat Bottom Girls. Although it's kind of weird because it's like, I don't identify with, I'm not a big bottomed girl. You know, I don't really identify with the song too much. I just think it slaps hard. Maybe it'd have to be something more that I identify with, like, you know, Mr. Brightside, just something like really white. Yeah. You know, Skater Boy perhaps. Speaking of skating, I dropped in. Oof. Your boy's done it. Yep, I can't be bothered to play the Shred Zone opener. We've already had one. Thank you. Long clap. We've already had one excessively long opener this podcast. We don't need to make it a second, but I did drop in. It was when I say it wasn't much of a drop. I really went in though. It was 30 centimeters. I found the smallest quarter pipe that I think exists in the country and dropped in. It was terrifying. It took a lot of goes. I fucked it up a couple times, almost ate shit. But then I got there, and some would say, Reese, that I'm quickly approaching your skateboarding abilities. Yeah. But I still can't do the 360 spin thing. That's the coolest shit, man.
But I sent you footage last night. I did a drop in as well.
Right, you were playing a video game. You were playing a skating video game. Yeah, so that's the answer. What song would you do?
I was thinking Hurricane by Faker.
So you'd start a podcast and it'd just be like, ooh, la, 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 ooh, la, 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 ooh, la. Yeah, that's a good song. Hurricane. You know what? Hurricane is their second best track.
Yeah.
People...
I would go first, maybe.
No, this Heart Attack is third. Look
Are
at
you magnetic?
Jeez, this is a niche podcast where we're discussing our top 3 faker tracks. The best faker song is "Are You Magnetic?" Are you magnetic? I think it's funny. It's just a weird song.
I would put that third for me.
Wow. Well, at least it's in your top 3. I'll do one more. What's the most clickbaity title you could come up with for this episode? Ooh, I love doing. My ex desperately wants me back. Huh?
I was doing that MGK.
Oh,
My-
jeez, we do this shitty meme whenever someone goes, "Hey," we go, my ex makes it all seem complicated," because he has that song at the side. It's like, "Hey," so whenever someone goes like, "Hey," and then I just say it anyway. I would say my desperate ex wants me back. I'm not going to call it that because that's horrible, right? But that would be the most clickbaity thing that I could put, I guess. Or night out goes wrong. Night out gone soft serve sexual. I don't know. Or what would you? I don't know.
I'm the worst with titles.
I would love to call. You know what? If clickbait didn't matter, like this is the thing. I've always like toyed with just not going for clickbait titles and just trying to amuse myself. But no one would click on them. That's the problem with the internet. Is I think the people who listen to it every week would still listen to it every week and they'd find it funny, but it wouldn't get like that extended audience that you need of people going, "Oh, I wonder what that's about." Because we all do it. We've all seen a clickbait title and been like, maybe I should give it a little click. But I think. Like, I would love to call this episode, you know, I met the guy from the cushion. Because it's just weird and intriguing and like, but no one will click on that. They'd be like, what? I've never met anyone from a cushion. It's not relatable. Or what about we call it Ja Rule is washed up. Or like, you know, where are they now? Ja Rule edition. And he's doing ads for Greek restaurants, swearing and not pronouncing the food correctly. I think the most clickbait one for this episode would have to be my desperate ex wants me back so bad.
Yeah. Or
Or like just something cringy and weird, which I will not be calling the episode. Oh, fuck, that's such a good title. But I would never do that. Guys, thank you very much for listening to the episode. Thank you very much for the suggestions. Oh, someone passed me a little slip of paper at one of the shows for this.
Oh, really? Huh?
I don't know if it made it off the merch table. And I'm not sure if I read it. I did read it. I forget. But anyway, if you want to give me these thingers, maybe give them to Reese at the show.
That was the original plan, yeah.
Yeah. Someone did give me a little question to chuck in the jar, or a few, but I'm not the best person to give them to because I'm meeting a bunch of people and stuff. And I thought I'd put them in my pocket. I think I actually put them on the merch table, and Meg must have been like, "What's this rubbish?" And then, anyway, so keep giving us in your little suggestions for questions if you want. And yeah, thanks very much for listening. Much appreciated as always. And send the podcast an email, your best deals. Can you beat $9 jugs or $2 middies? That is the challenge this week. Good luck. LukeKidgellPodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday. Tell your friends. And that's all. Anything else, Reese? And say happy birthday to Reese, guys. Show some goddamn respect. All right. Bye.
So